How to love, got cold, I don't know. I'm my friends, turn a fold, I don't know. 40 in, it's all go, What you six? Yeah, better know it. Times change, people change, they gon' love you, then they hate you, yeah, it's strange. Yeah, that's right, sell you out for some change. Yeah, they go crazy for that money, they the range. Hey, Lord forgive them, cause they know now what they do. Messing with a prince, they ain't even got a clue. They don't blind them with the light when they see me coming through. And a hater couldn't stress me, tell them this ain't nothing new. Watch your back, better watch. Watch your back, better watch. Keep the circle tight, dog, never slack, never loose. Do your friends, do you know? Got your back. I know the ones around me, yeah, I'm keeping track. How to love, got cold, I don't know. I'm my friends, turn a fold, I don't know. 40 in, it's all go, What you six? Yeah, better know it. How to love, got cold, I don't know. I'm my friends, turn a fold, I don't know. 40 in, it's all go, What you six? Yeah, better know, yeah. Never take a word, show me how you getting down. Yeah, is you with it when a man up and when he down? You around for the occasion.
So all praise to the Most High. We're going to open up with a Q&A, and we're going to get ready as well as Captain Zakar get his class ready to sprinkle some of that wisdom down upon us. All right? So, okay, we're going to open up with a class on what a question. Here we go. First question here. Let me read this. Scripture, Leviticus 19 and 28, tattoo. Scripture specifically say, for the dead and rituals, what about women who use it for beautification? Example, eyebrows, eyeliner, and lips. Okay, all right. So first, let's read Leviticus 19:28 for us to be clear.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead.
Make any cuttings in the flesh for the dead, right?
Nor print any marks upon you.
Print any marks upon you. Okay, let's see why. Let's go to a chapter before it. 18 and through, we'll start at 1 through 3.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God, after the doings of the land of Egypt.
After what?
After the doings of the land of Egypt.
Come on.
Wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do.
Shall you what?
Shall ye not do.
Meaning what? We was doing after the manners of Egypt. Because what tends to happen in captivity, we learn the same rituals, the same custom fashions from our oppressors. So this is right here, strict commandments, straight commandments from the Lord to separate yourself from the doings that goes into the fashions, customs, trends, whatever the case may be. Get away from that. Exodus 11 and 7, real quick. Exodus 11 and 7.
Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
Come on.
Against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
You see that? So the Lord already letting you know it's a difference. It's a difference, a clear difference from top to bottom, from the God that you serve, all right, from the fashions that you wear. There's a clear difference. From there, Proverbs 24 and 1. No, 3 and 31. Real quick, come on.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Read it again.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Now we understand our sisters, they love to look good. They want to look good. They want to, go all out when it comes to their hair, when it comes to their makeup, when it comes to their fashion of clothing that they wear. We understand that. But you got to be very mindful when you're coming into this understanding that you're disconnected because God has severed you from the other nations. That means from the fashion, you have to be very mindful because in the questions, it gave you clear example. Eyebrows, eyeliners, and lips. Who's more concerned with that? Are women. They want to know, can they still maintain the fashions of their oppressors? Because 90% of their fashions that they have in this society is from their oppressors. Proof. Isaiah 30 and 12. This is the proof. Isaiah 30 and 12.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 12.
Come on.
Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word.
You despise this word. Come on.
Trust in oppression.
Trust in what?
and trust in oppression.
Even when it comes to the fashion, our sisters still trust in the oppressor's fashion. Read.
And perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall.
A breach means it's going to be one of those, meaning there's going to be a hole in your armor. When you say you properly standing for the Lord, you keeping the commandments, you 100% for the Lord. But wait a minute, when examining yourself, you still got that hole. You got a weak point in your armor. All right, are you fully for the Lord, or your mind is still concerned on the fashions of your oppressors? That's going to be the breach. Okay, go to you finished that on Proverbs 3:31. Go back to 3:31. Finish that.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
None of his ways. That means the eyeliner. That means the eyebrow fashion and lips. And you know what? Who did that tattoo or the eyeliner and all that? That was our oppressors. Yeah, the eyebrows. Oh my, the eyelashes. Right now you have Moab with the fur eyelashes. Right? It's crazy, and I bet we're gonna find most of our people following that same trend. So you got to be very mindful when it comes to this. It says, "Envy thou not the oppressors in none of their ways." Okay, from there. Proverbs 24:1. Proverbs 24:1.
Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 1.
Hold on, you quick, man. Hold on. Goodness gracious. I blinked and he already there. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 1.
Come on.
Be not thou envious against evil men.
You see that? Be not thou envious, because a lot of times when he asks questions like this, it's because it's loaded, backed up by envy. Envy, you mean envy of what? You envying, can I still do this fashion? If I happen to trip and fall on this tattooed eyeliner or lip gloss, is it okay? So you got to be very careful. Go ahead, read.
Be not thou envious against evil men.
Come on.
Neither desire to be with them.
It says desire to be with them, mean like them, to look like them. Read.
Through wisdom is an house built.
Hold on. No, you skipped.
Oh, sorry. Verse 2. For their heart studieth destruction.
Who's that studieth destruction? Your oppressors. By default, their mind is not on the ways of God. They're totally adverse to God's commandments. That means the fashion, the mannerisms, all that is against God. So don't be surprised if you see them have tattooed eyebrows. And you have the wicked of our people and the ignorant of our people who wants to follow the same trend. Remember, we played a video not too far back on the class we did called the ungodly fashions, right? The envy of the ungodly fashion. We tend that famous clip from Men in Black. I make this look good. That's the mindset of Israel. They want the ungodly fashion and mix it with righteousness. Make it look good. No, God said don't do it. Because at the end of the day, it's envy of your oppressors. Okay? Read on. Is that it on that?
No, sir.
Read verse 2 from the top.
For their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief.
Their lips talk of mischief. They'll market it. That same wickedness to make sure everybody's doing the same thing and following them. What they'll do, they'll advertise it. They'll advertise it. They'll put it in your favorite movie. They'll put it on a song or a video. So next thing you know what? I wonder if I put some jewels on it, and I hit them with a head wrap. Go ahead, Cap.
Hey, pull up the picture I just posted in the Sabbath class real quick, just to give you an example of us envying our oppressor. Now, those are peacock eyelashes. All of this stuff that we have taken and adopted and made it black, it come from them. Ain't no black people out there making fake eyelashes. Ain't no black company making fake eyelashes. We get it from our oppressor, and then we make it black and call it ours. So they'll have Asian people model them, white people model it, because they know as soon as black people get hold of it, with them having low self-esteem, don't like their own eyelashes and want to keep up with the Joneses of the entertainers that they see, they'll have these peacocks on too. They'll mess around, buy it, and wear it for Passover because it match the colors. and we'll sell out. That's the type of stuff that goes on. We have to make sure that we are not blurring the lines of righteousness and worldliness. We got our own fashion. Just read the scriptures, and the Lord gives that to you, like in Isaiah 3. Go to Isaiah 3 real quick. Now, our ancestors, our foremothers did it in wickedness, but we can do this thing with righteousness. It's about the spirit that is within you, right? Isaiah 3, let's get straight to the point, where he start calling out the stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know, wherever. Yeah, 16. Come on.
Isaiah,
Let's do that. Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and maketh a tingling with their feet.
So the problem was that their spirit was not right. Not that they were beautiful. That's not the problem, because we the chosen people of God. Of course, he made us beautiful and better looking than any nation on the earth. The problem is the spirit that was within it. Read on.
Therefore, the Lord will smite thee with a scab, the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion.
Now you got extensions to put in, wigs to put on. Read on.
And the Lord will discover their secret
Read
parts.
on.
In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments.
Now, see, we had tinkling ornaments, our women did. Read on.
About their feet.
So that's like ankle braces, right? Read on.
In their calls.
Calls will go into headbands.
And their round tires like the moon.
That's the head wraps. That's what that's talking about, because you wrapped it like a tire. Go ahead.
The chains.
Head chains.
And the bracelets.
Bracelets.
And the mufflers.
Uh-huh.
The bonnets.
Goes into turbans.
And the ornaments of the legs.
Leg jewels again.
And the headbands.
Uh-huh.
And the tablets.
Which is like perfume. Go ahead.
And the earrings.
Uh-huh.
The rings. The nose jewels. The changeable suits of apparel. And the mantles. And the wimples. And the crisping pins.
That's like hoods. That's going into. Go ahead.
The glasses. And the fine linen. And the hoods. And the veils.
Hoods is going into hoods and veils is also like robes. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well set hair, baldness.
Snatched it. Go ahead.
And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth.
Out of shape. Go ahead.
And burning instead of beauty.
Because the spirit wasn't right. There's nothing wrong with beautifying yourself. Do it in the ways that that the Lord just described about the things our foremother used to wear. You didn't read nothing about peacock eyelashes. You didn't read nothing about drawing on eyebrows. You didn't read nothing about hair extensions. This is something, sisters, you got to get over there. You got to get to that level of actually loving the way you actually look, because some of those things that are not of God that we just read here are because there's a certain level of low self-esteem and you don't like the way you look. Therefore, you don't think other people will like the way you look. So let me do something to change that. Go back to what our foremothers. You got Judith, the thing she wore. Pull it out. Go ahead, Cap.
Read that right on Cap. What Cap just brought out. Go to Judith 10:3. Watch this. Exactly what Cap was giving you a slew of what our women wear, right? Watch this. Watch the potency of what our women wear. Watch this.
Judith chapter 10 and verse 3.
Come on.
And pulled off the sackcloth which he had on.
Right.
And put off the garments of her widowhood.
Come on.
And washed her body all over with water. And anointed herself with precious ointment.
So she smelled good. Come on. Watch this.
And braided the hair of her head.
Braided her hair. Come on. That means there was no weave. Come on.
And put on a tire upon it.
That means she had a head wrap. Come on.
And put on her garments of gladness.
Garment of gladness. Watch this. Come on.
Wherewith she was clad during the life of Manasseh, her husband.
Right. She dressed up just like this often for her husband. Go ahead.
And she took sandals upon her feet.
There we go. Sandals. Come on.
And put about her bracelets. And her chains. And her rings.
And rings.
And her earrings.
Earrings.
And all her ornaments.
All her ornaments. Come on.
And decked herself bravely to allure the eyes of all men.
Of what?
Of all men.
So that means she had all those things right there without the eyebrows, worrying about the eyebrows, the eyeliner, the lip gloss, drawing on. None of the customs of the heathens was upon her or named. Go ahead.
To allure the eyes of all men
Jump
that
to
should
verse
see her.
Okay, jump to verse 19 now.
Verse 19. And they wondered at her beauty.
They wondered. The other nations wondered at her beauty. Come on.
And admired the children of Israel.
Wait a minute. The children of who?
The children of Israel.
They were the trendsetters. They were the trendsetters. Just the basics. Remember, the scripture says, hold fast on what you've been given. You don't know how to dress, because I know the thought that comes in the minds of our people. Well, we don't know what they wore back then. Come on now, you're deceiving yourself if you make that statement.
Hey, and look at this. Remember, we said about it's nothing wrong with looking beautiful as long as your spirit's right. Jump back to Judith chapter 8 and read verse 28 and 29. She was beautiful with all of the ornaments that the Lord had given us as a people. And look what the man said about her. Read that.
Judith chapter 8 and verse 28. Then said Ozias to her, all that thou hast spoken, hast thou spoken with a good heart.
She had a good heart. Go ahead.
And there is none that may gainsay thy words. For this is not the first day wherein thy wisdom is manifested.
She had wisdom in her spirit. She was a wise woman, beautiful and wise. Go ahead.
But from the beginning of thy days, all the people have known thy understanding, because the disposition of thine heart is good.
Ooh, Judith was a bad woman. I'm telling you that. Inside and out. Inside and out. She was a bad woman, beautiful inside and out, with the ways and the customs of her people, not of the heathen. Now, real quick, before we move on, pull up that in Sabbath class to show you where with these eyelashes thing. Remember, it's not new under the sun. And remember, Esau searches out iniquity. Look what this says. Pull it up. Read that for us, officer.
The ancient Egyptians started it all. As early as 4000 BC, they took to emphasizing their eyelashes.
They did what?
They took to emphasizing their eyelashes.
Read on.
With kohl and other ointments.
Hey, shout out to Officer Abaddon. He dropped this on us. Read on.
This rudimentary eye makeup not only accentuated the eyes, but it also served as extra protection from the sun.
Wow. We don't need that. Go ahead.
At the time, long, full eyelashes were seen as a sign of chastity.
So you see where it came from, the Egyptians. And what is that script you pull, Cap Severus? Envy thou not thy oppressor. Sisters, got to start checking your spirit. Got to start loving yourself for whom God made you are. You got plenty of ways to beautify yourself.
And this is how you know, too. God, I know Tyra Banks issued out an order for all celebrity women to go without your makeup. Send a picture and go without your makeup. See how you look. And most of those sisters are on that pictures, they look way better than without all that garbage on their face. You see that. Our beauty without the painted faces. Of course, there's nothing against the painted faces, but when it comes to your natural beauty, our sisters excel in that, above the nations. You see the Edomites without their makeup, they look like crepit death.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.